আপনারা দেখছেন ওয়েলফেয়ার ক্লিনিক। এরপর দেখবেন ওয়েলফেয়ার ক্লিনিক।
Welcome back to Welfare Clinic. We was talking about benefit related issues and how people are affected, and also we're taking calls from you at home. If you have any questions, whether it be housing benefit, job seeker allowance, disability living allowance, carers allowance, working tax credit, whether if you're working, depending on the salary you're earning, whether you'll be entitled to any sort of benefits. I have 4 guests with me tonight who will do their best to answer your question you had earlier on from Barrister Rezabai regarding immigrations and people who's on immigration status, what sort of rights they have. One lady's lost their daughter, the social service took their daughter, so obviously if you got any concerns or issues, then do ring in to the show and we will do our best to respond and obviously subsequently should seek professional legal advice if you are in those sort of circumstances. Mahbub Bhai, I wanted to come to you regarding people renting rooms or having lodger in their house. In those sort of things, how are they affected in terms of the tax element of it from or business people who wants to go into work? So if you can answer both of those in
Okay. When you say tax, I hope you're talking about bedroom tax.
Well, right. there is other tax as well.
No. Yeah. When you talk to an accountant about tax, of course, we think that tax about accounting tax. Right. Let's start with bedroom tax because we are talking about bedroom tax. If you sublet, say, and you take, because you got a spare room now, and because of the spare room, government is going to impose a bedroom tax on you now, because I don't think you mentioned already that if you got one spare bedroom, 14% of your housing benefit will be deducted. If you got second or more than 2 rooms, then 25% of your housing benefit will be deducted. So, if your rent is £100, then you got one spare room, then £14 will be deducted. Okay. Now, say you accept it, okay, because the government can't take the house from you. You are willing to pay that bedroom tax. You are willing to pay £14 more extra, towards your housing rent, and now you decided to put somebody in that room and get some money, like a rented room or sublet.
Is this the properties that owned by the landlords, or
no,
rented from a housing association or council?
You can take a lodger. I believe they use the word lodger, because I was checking online about this bedroom tax, and they use the word lodger. I shouldn't really use sublet, because I don't think you are allowed to sublet a council property.
No.
So you can take a lodger, and if you take from that lodger some money, the £20 is exempt, first £20. And after that, if you take say £60 from that person, then this additional money in excess of £20 will be regarded as your income towards your income. So that will affect your other benefits like working tax credit, child tax credit. So this is what. But from accounting point of view, what I can tell you, that if you earn anything, you should declare to tax office. Yes. So this is kind of earning for you, and you must declare in your tax return, self-assessment tax return is land and property, and you don't have to really, if your income is less than £4,250 per year, which is equivalent to roughly £80 a week, then you don't have to pay any tax. So this £4,250 or less is totally exempt. You don't pay any tax for that income. So, but you must declare in your tax return. You have to tick a box that are you claiming rent room relief? You must claim that. So, so this is what from accounting point of view,
Yeah.
I can tell that you must declare that
And
income. And from bedroom tax point of view, you can take a lodger, and the first £20 will be exempt.
Can I just add
Yeah.
that often what people actually are doing is taking in their grandchildren or a niece or nephew, and this, people need to get more detailed advice, but this is not always necessarily, the same rules don't necessarily apply if it's a family member. You would need to discuss it with the council in terms of whether you will officially then exempt from the bedroom tax.
Okay,
but people, if it's a family member, it's best to get advice, and if it's a lodger, I think a word of warning is people need to think about the impact of having that person in their household.
Yes.
There's numbers of ways
Yeah,
in which that can have an impact.
Yeah, other issues, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, other issues.
Even children live with the parents. Sometimes parents' housing benefit is affected if the children's income is high. So this is also something
Yeah.
that
Just
come in.
the other thing, just quickly, Mahbub Bhai, in terms of people who's setting up their businesses, or we have many entrepreneurs
Okay.
in the communities who want to set up their businesses. What sort of benefits would they be entitled to if they were to set up a small business or a small corner shop or a small enterprise?
What I mentioned in the first segment of the program, that why we get benefit. We get benefit because our income is low. That's why government is helping us to survive with that additional benefit we get from them. So if we are setting up a business, we don't know what the future, what's the prospect of the business. So after running for 1 month, I might realize that I'm not earning enough money and I can't survive now. Should I close my business? Should I claim job seekers allowance? Or I still can run my business and get some benefit? Yes, you can still run your business and get some benefit, provided your income is low, and then they might ask proof of your income. Then you go to your accountant, or if you can do yourself, fine. You go to your accountant and ask for proof of income. And if you are self-employed, then what they will prepare for housing benefit, they will, for next 3 months, projected accounts. So how much you might earn, on that basis they will give benefit. And after 3 months, they will ask the actual income. And then they will check whether your projected income and actual income, is it more or less same. If it is same, then they will continue to pay you housing benefit. If it is less, then probably you get more. If it is more, then it will affect otherwise. And same way, you can claim also working tax credit, child tax credit, based on that projected income for the next 1 year. So it's not to be disappointed for a businessman who set up a new business and is not earning enough money. So
Yeah.
there's still hope. I'm hoping for the business as well, so that he becomes successful businessman and he doesn't need to claim any benefit. But if you cannot have enough income coming into your house, then you can definitely get some support from the government.
Thank you for that, Mahbub Bhai. Raza Bhai, just finally, because we're gonna have to wrap up soon. I just wanted to ask you, say for example, somebody don't have the legal immigration status,
Yes.
so they know how they don't have resource to public fund.
Yeah.
But if they got their children with them, can they contact whichever local authority they live in and get any sort of support or help through the local authority for the child,
Yeah.
rather than the
What
adult?
can happen, because this country, they won't allow people to be destitute. So
Yes.
there are emergency help is available. But then again, that cannot go for forever. So normally what happens, social service or council advise them, go and make an application. If you make an application, then this you can keep on claiming this benefit, but then that can be taken into account when the Home Office decide their application.
Okay.
And the problem is that once the application is decided, if you decide on human rights ground, they'll always have this condition attached, no recourse to public fund.
Yes.
Unless, as I said, you can apply and get the question lifted. And one thing we have to add, that from 6th of April, they have now introduced this NHS surcharge. So anybody who's
Yes,
applying,
They
if
have to take
students,
passport and
anybody who is not here with the settled status will have to pay this £200 per year, student £150 per year surcharge, and that will also add further to their already, catastrophic life.
Okay. Thank you very much. I'm very sorry we have to finish here. The time goes very fast when you're discussing interesting issues. But this show will be repeated tomorrow at 5 p.m. in the evening. So if you have missed it tonight, you will be able to tell your friends and families to watch again. This show will be fortnightly on Tuesday at 10:30. So if you have any questions, you can phone in to ask your questions and issues. We will endeavor to bring different guests with different expertise and knowledge every fortnight. We will talk about all kind of benefits, such as I said earlier, from carers allowance to job seekers allowance, disability living allowance, housing benefit, council tax benefit, bedroom tax that we talked about today. We'll try to touch on specific issues every fortnight so that you get in-depth details about how those benefits can affect. We've got a new system coming in called universal credit. Whole of welfare system will be transformed, and we know that many people in our communities are affected and may not know where to turn to for help or advice. But one thing I will strongly advise, if you are in any sort of difficulties, then you must contact either the legal representatives, and there is many legal firms based within locally, or go to your nearest citizen advice bureaus or benefit advice centers. There might be private, publicly funded advice centers where they give you free advice, but you must seek help. You mustn't stay silent and suffer. It is important that you do go and get the help you need to protect yourself and your family, and especially if you have vulnerable children or elderlies in your house. I thank you for watching this show. I hope you benefited from some of the information tonight, and we hope to see you again in fortnights. Thank you very much.